Crystal Palace vs Man United live, Premier League result and reaction as hosts run rampant with 4 goals. Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United. Michael Olise brace led the charge as the Eagles dominated Crystal Palace humiliated Manchester United with a blistering display at Selhurst Park that leaves Erik ten Hag's position with the Red Devils on a knife edge. The hosts started as the better side and dominated possession from kick-off. Michael Olise then opened the scoring in the 12th minute, cutting inside Casemiro and slotting home from inside the box. From there, Palace never looked back. Jean-Philippe Mateta continued his amazing home form by darting in behind and blasting a strike past Andre Onana as United's defense fell apart repeatedly. The second half brought more goals. From a short corner, Adam Wharton picked out Joachim Andersen at the far post, who turned the ball across to Tyrick Mitchell for a tap-in. Olise then scored his second, Palace's fourth, after Casemiro, who had a night to forget, was bungled off the ball deep in his own half. Daniel Munoz squared a pass and Olise rocketed a strike from range past Onana again. The timid manner of United's defeat will only raise more questions over Ten Hag's suitability as the new owners look to make changes in the summer. Relive the action below, plus get the latest Crystal Palace vs Manchester United odds and tips right here. Crystal Palace vs Manchester United live. Manchester United season hits new low after Crystal Palace humiliation. Crystal Palace defeat Manchester United in the Premier League. 66-foot goal. Olise gets a second with a rocket strike, cry 4-0 MUN. 58-foot goal. Mitchell prods home from close range, cry 3-0 MUN. 53-foot disallowed. Casemiro's effort chalked off for offside, cry 2-0 MUN. 40-foot goal. Mateta blasts a rocket past Onana, cry 2-0 MUN. 27-foot disallowed. Man United score, but Hodgland is punished for a foul on Henderson, cry 1-0 MUN. 12-foot goal. Olise individual skill and finish brings the opener, cry 1-0 MUN. Manchester United season hits new low after Crystal Palace humiliation. A Michael Olise masterclass helped Crystal Palace complete a first-ever Premier League double over Manchester United and inflict further misery on Erik ten Hag's team with a 4-0 drubbing in South London. Olise has been linked with a summer switch to Old Trafford and run amok at Selhurst Park with a dazzling display, scoring twice to move on to 9 goals in 12 league starts this season. 2 sparkling efforts by Olise in the 12th and 66th minutes bookend this latest superb result for Oliver Glasner's side, with Jean-Philippe Mateta and Tyrick Mitchell also on target to make it 4 wins and 5 for Palace. Manchester United season hits new low after Crystal Palace humiliation. Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United, European qualification now at risk as Erik ten Hag's side were dismantled at Selhurst Park. FT Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United. Crystal Palace boss Oliver Glasner to BBC Sport, I think the first half performance wasn't our top level. We gave them too many passes. It was an open game in the first half, but we were efficient. We didn't give them any space in defense after the break. Second half was really good, but first half we could do better. But the score was amazing. It was the 4th game in a row where the other team didn't have 10 shots. This is what we want to do to control the game with a compact defensive shape. We know when we get our players in dangerous areas they are able to score goals. We will always be very critical and look at what we can improve. Stay humble. Focus on the details. We struggled with defensive set plays. They could have scored 1 or 2. We always look at what we can improve. FT Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United. More from Erik ten Hag, you know that, especially when you come to the end. But still, we have 9 points to play for, and we have to fight for the 9 points. I will keep fighting, and I prepared the team in the best way I could do, and it was not good enough, by far not good enough. I have to take the responsibility for that, but I will find energy and I will prepare them for Sunday's game. He's my sounding board, he will be. At the end of the day, I have to do it with the players that are available. All season, we have huge problems and by now, This is the fourth defeat in this calendar year, so that's not a lot, and every time, we had huge problems and many times, we sorted out. Today, we didn't. FT Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United. Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag speaking to Sky Sports, "It is clear and it is obvious. This is underperforming. We didn't act how we want to do it, and it's by far not good enough. We are very disappointed, but the fans were always behind us and we keep fighting, like the fans did. There are always reasons, and everyone sees our backline, and we have huge problems. At the end of the day, we have to deal with it, and we should have done better than we did. There are 5 players there, and that is a goal that shouldn't happen because we really give clear instructions of how we should defend this. They didn't bring it on the pitch and we got hammered. But it was what they showed, but also, the left side, there was 2 players doubling up on 1 player, and so, that is very poor defending." FT Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United. Crystal Palace have won 3 successive Premier League games at Selhurst Park for the first time since October 2022, while they are unbeaten in their last 5 matches in the league for the first time since April 2022. FT Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United. This is Crystal Palace's biggest Premier League win since beating Leeds United 5-1 in April 2023. It is their biggest win at Selhurst Park in the league since April 2018, when they beat Leicester 5-0. FT Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United. Since Oliver Glasner's first Premier League game in charge of Crystal Palace on February 24, Jean-Philippe Mateta is just the second player in the competition to reach 10 goals, behind Cole Palmer, 11. He has now scored in each of his last 6 home league games, 8 goals, after netting only 5 goals in his first 37. FT Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United. Since the start of last season, only Nottingham Forest, 5, have lost more Premier League away games by a 4-goal margin or higher than Manchester United, 3. FT Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United. The last time Manchester United lost more games in a league season was in 1989-90, when they lost 16 games and finished 13th. FT Crystal Palace 4-0 Man United. Manchester United sacked their manager in the 2 seasons they lost 12 matches, 2013-14 and 2021-22. It doesn't seem as though Erik Ten Hag will be in the United dugout next year.